So anybody who wants to understand Kabbalah or Tree of Life, this is for you. Okay. And I'm about to draw the Tree of Life, and I'm going to talk about the whole concept of Tsimsum. I'm going to do a lesson. This lesson will be posted for boot campers and 365 members. What y'all see here, which is the Kabbalah, it represents the upper realms and lower realms that correspond to each other. So if you know law of correspondence, you know higher realms correspond to lower realms. What happens on the lower realms happens on the higher realms. Okay? Oh, y'all want to see baby girl? Oh, she crying. She don't like to be seen right now. It's okay. He said, let me see the baby. All right. So upper realm. This is the upper realm. And this is the lower realm. So the lower realm is physical. The upper realm is spiritual. Down here is the interplay of parts. Now, let's check this out. This is what happens and what the story is about Tsimsum. I'm going to go ahead and explain it. So, in the beginning, we were all here. We were all here in the very beginning. Now, a circle, I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle, is symbolic. And the circle is symbolic, the circle is symbolic of unity and fulfillment. So the universe was said to be, and God was said to be, and we were said to be in a circular condition. That means that we were fulfilled and complete. Now, the light, this circular condition is made up of two parts. It's made up of the light itself. Let's just call it the light here. And it's made up of the vessel. Those are two parts to one whole, the light and the vessel. Now, the light, which is this here, Keter, it is the desire to bestow, the desire to share. That is what this top Sephrio is. That represents this circle. So this circle is, the light in this circle is the desire to share. Now, the vessel is a vessel to receive the light that is intermingled and unified with the light. So what is it? What are we saying? We're saying that it's infinite giving and infinite receiving. We are the vessel that received and were receiving in the upper realm when we were all unified before the universe was manifest. Okay? We were receiving infinitely. So this is infinity, infinite receptiveness, and infinite giving. Now, what's the issue with this? The issue here up in the upper realm is it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. It's more blessed to give than it is to receive. To give is more beneficial. So here we are as vessels. The issue we had was we no longer wanted to receive for free. We wanted to be like the Creator. We want to give. That's what we wanted to do. And we did not like to receive without earning the light. This is what was happening in the upper realm right here. So right here. Since we did not want to receive without earning, what it's called is it caused something called bread of shame. This is the reason, if you understand bread of shame is the reason everything happens in your life. It's the reason the good happens. It's the reason the bad happens. When you are receiving something that you did not earn, you will realize what happened is called Tsimtsum. We'll talk about it in a second. So here's the vessel receiving infinitely from the light. What's the issue with this? You would say, everything's good. Everything's great. We're receiving everything. We get all the beauty, the love, the light, the happiness, the joy, the connectedness, the fulfillment. We get everything, right? So why would we want to leave that condition? Here's why. Imagine that you are living on somebody's couch in California. You don't have a job. You can't help pay for groceries. You can't put gas in the tank. You can do nothing. But the person that you're living with is so generous. And they give. The fridge is yours. The house is yours. Matter of fact, sleep in the master bedroom. I'll sleep on the couch, and I'll do this as long as you need to get back on your feet. But you keep staying there. But the problem and the issue is you're not making any progress. You're not contributing to that person's household, your friend's household. What eventually happens within you when your friend comes in, they see you eating popcorn and got a steak cooked or your vegetable medley cooked in front of the TV watching YouTube, and they came in from working all day and they come back to the house and they see you sitting there. How do you start to feel after you've been sitting there a long time and you're not making any progress and you're not giving them anything? You feel like a burden. Yes, you start to feel what's called bread of shame. Bread of shame is I'm receiving and I'm not able to give anything. Does that feel good or does it feel bad? We know the answer. Okay, it feels bad. And that's the condition we had up in the upper realm, up here. The creator was giving so much, and we were just sitting on the couch in heaven. Let's call it heaven. We were sitting on the couch of heaven receiving. And we started to feel the bread of shame. Why? Because we can give and we're not able to. So the creator in his infinite wisdom and benevolence and mercy found it fit to essentially separate from the vessel, to create a separation from upper and lower. And what the creator did was created a lower realm where the light he disappears into his upper realm. And here you are as a human being down here in the lower realm. And what happens here? Down in the lower realm is the realm of darkness. It's the absence of light. And what we want to do is draw light in by earning it. KP, you see the baby? She sleep now. She like to sleep in my arms when I walk around, and she like to hear me talk too. So, I love somebody who, listen to me. I be wanting people to listen to me. Yeah, I got to call you, bro. Okay. Darkness. So darkness appears. So check this out. We are right now in the realm of Malkut, which is here, which is the realm of darkness. Now, darkness gives us the opportunity to introduce the light. We still want the light. We still want the light. We still want the light. But we do not want it for free. We don't want bread of shame. Bread of shame will make us feel shame. So God will not allow you to feel shame. God will not allow you to feel shame because God does not want you to feel bad. So guess what? God will not let you have anything that you did not earn because it will make you feel bad. Okay? Sorry about it.
It's okay. Don't do it again.
Just had to lay her down, y'all. Okay. God does not, you can think of it as the light. The light does not want you to receive bread of shame anymore. So what happens? If you start to get down here in the realm of darkness, here's how we get the light. All right. It's two ways to get the light in a dark world. You can get the light in one of two ways. You can restrict or you can grab light, cheap light. Okay. So it's cheap light. I'm going to erase this and talk about the cheap light. Okay. Light is cheap down here on earth. How do we get light for cheap? We get light when we react negatively because we are superior to somebody else. You shouldn't have done that to me. You let your anger raise up and you start getting the light from that. Or you you have frivolous sex with anybody I want. I want to have sex with whoever I want. Okay. Well, that's receiving light for cheap. You can do drugs. That's receiving the light for cheap, because the light is what makes us feel good. But the problem is, in the dark world, in a world of darkness, if you receive something, you get the light benefit, you get the pleasure, but you haven't paid. Here's what happens. It's like the spiritual bouncer comes over and saying, how did you get that? That light you got, all of those feelings. How did you get that? And you'll say, well, I just took it. It was there, so I took it. Did you pay for it? No, I didn't pay for it. I just took it because it was there. And the spiritual bouncer, which is really the law of the universe, comes over and says, all right, hand it over. And it takes the light from you and gives it to your opponent. This is the interesting part about the dark world. You have an opponent, gives it to the opponent to create more chaos in your life. So when you have chaos in your life, it is because you are receiving the things you haven't earned. That's it.
Can you turn that light on?
You are receiving what you have not earned. That's the issue. Okay? So when you receive what you haven't earned, it's because the light that you received gets taken and given to your opponent. And the opponent, which the Bible calls the adversary, some religions call the devil or the dark one. It really is just a perfect component for this world to make sure you wake up. It creates chaos in your life. Okay? I'm going to answer the questions at the end. I'm going to scroll back up because I'm going to post this. So now, since you are here in the darkness, if you get stuff for free, if you get the light for free, here's what happens. It's like a light bulb. So you are in correspondence. You correspond. If you know, you know. See, y'all who in the boot camp, y'all know what correspondence is, right? This is a light bulb. Okay? The upper world, which is the light, is symbolic of electricity. Now, I'm going to tell you something about a light and electricity that you probably didn't know. How the light bulb actually glows is when the electrical current flows through to the filament. This is a filament. The filament, in order to glow with light, which would mean you glowing with all the good and all the benefits and all the love and joy and serenity and peace and happiness and success and opulence, that's all light. In order for this light to glow, it actually has to restrict and resist the instant influx of light. What does that mean? That means when you want to get pissed off because you feel bad, but you get mad and that takes you up a level, right? When you want to get mad, that's you reaching for easy light. When you want to blame somebody, that's an easy way to make yourself feel good. Is blame somebody else. That's cheap light. If that light comes to you, your job, if you want the light to shine in your life, is to restrict that tendency. Let me give you another example. You get your car repossessed. Now, what's the instant reaction? You pissed off, you mad, you feel less than, you want to indulge these negative emotions, You want to justify. You want to feel like it wasn't your fault. That's what you want to feel. That would be instant. That would be instant light. That would be instant light. Now, if you receive instant light, this is what happens with the filament. When that light comes in, if you don't restrict, there is a big boost of light. You've seen this in your house when a fuse blows or the light bulb goes really bright, boom, and it pops and turns off. But when you receive a light that you didn't earn, the law of bread of shame kicks in. The light doesn't want you to feel bad, so it actually stops you from absorbing that cheap light. and it creates more darkness. It puts you back into the darkness. And guess what people do? This is how addictions start. You got to reach for the bottle again, or reach for the vape again, or reach for whatever it is that you're addicted to again, because you need more light. And when you receive it, you didn't earn it. Because when you're sitting on the couch and you drink a Hennessy, sitting on the couch and you drink a Hennessy, you are getting good feelings, which is the light, but you're not paying for it. So that's the reason you feel bad after you drink it, because you have to the benefits have to be removed from you. You have to actually have that taken from you, because it's going to make you feel bad if you keep going down that road. Bread of shame, it kicks in, the light takes it from you, the opponent takes it from you, but now it's used to create more chaos in your life. This is what's happening when you don't restrict. But if you do restrict, you say, no, I do not need to drink. No, I don't. You just say you don't. No, I don't need it. So when you say, I don't need to drink, here's what happens. You restrict the instant gratification. You don't drink. Okay, great. Next, what happens is you start to glow. You start to glow. You start to glow. It means you have let the light in and your life starts to get brighter. This is the reason why when you stop drinking, or you stop smoking, or you stop whatever you're doing that you feel you're not supposed to do, whenever you stop doing that, you get energy. You get peace. You start to get ideas. You start to get clarity. That's what, when you're getting clarity, it's because you have restricted an automatic trigger and an automatic response. This is called bread of shame. So how do you let the light in? You only let the light in by restriction. You can't let it in any other way. If you want it to last, if you want lasting light that burns bright for your whole life and fills your whole life with light, you have to restrict. What do you have to restrict? The desire. Here it is. Let me go ahead and say the last part. This is the important part. What are you restricting? What you are restricting is, you are restricted because it's two things that happen. When the light removes itself, you get the desire to receive. Before, when everything was in a unified state up here, you didn't have the desire to receive because you were receiving everything. But when the light withdrew itself, you developed as a vessel the desire to receive. Now, there's two types of desires. One creates chaos and another one creates illumination, light, and success, and happiness, and joy, and power. Here they are. It is the desire to receive for the self alone. That is one desire. This is the desire that creates bread of shame. This is the desire that creates bread of shame. By the way, if y'all want this replay, just message me down here. We got a library of this. Message me down here if you want this replay. It's only for our Quantum Mastermind members. It's free. Don't cost anything. I hate saying the word free, but anyway. Desire to receive for the self alone. This will cause chaos in your life. And this is what causes chaos in your life. So let's give this scenario again. All right. My girl, Leisha, she says something that frustrates me. I got two options. I can react in a way that gets me what I want, or I can desire to receive, to share. I can try to figure out how to give. That's right. These are the two levels of desire. Now, here you are in the darkness. This desire to receive for the self alone. Okay, desire to receive for the self alone belongs to the dark realm. It belongs to the dark realm, and it will give your power to chaos, your opponent. The opponent is the one who tells you, you can't do it. You don't know what you're doing. You can't do it. You too slow. You've never done this before. Look at your family. Look at your body. Look where you come from. What make you think you can do that? That is the power of the darkness. When you act on a desire to receive for the self alone, you feed the opponent that can whisper louder in your ear about that kind of stuff. That's the snake's whisper. Yes, that's the snakes that whisper. You get the snakes that whisper because and it tries to get you to indulge in the desire to receive for the self alone. Why? Because it gets power to create more chaos. That's what it wants. So anytime that you get agitated, you want to react, you want to explode, you done with this, you tired of being the one to give it. I'm giving all the time. I'm tired of giving. As soon as you say that, you switch from the desire to share to the desire to receive for the self alone, and you start to consume the karma and the benefits that you developed. Okay, there we go. Desire to receive for the self alone. Now, how do you switch it? All right, Leisha get pissed off at me. I stop. I say, this is good. First of all, I know that this came to me because the light is trying to come in. I know that Leisha is pissing me off because the light is trying to come in. And the opponent is trying to steal my light and make me act on a desire to receive for the self alone. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stop and say, I know what the opponent is doing right now. I know what the opponent is doing. It's trying to take my light, and I'm going to stop and restrict. Remember, restrict the light bulb, the filament. It restricts. I'm going to restrict so that I can glow this light in my life. Restrict. And now I'm going to think of how can I become the person who shares. When you ask to share, remember, the desire to share belongs to the light. So when you down here have the desire to share, you become like the light, and then the light can manifest in your life. It's called law of attraction or law of affinity. When you are like the light, which is a desire to share, then you let in the light. But the only time you can do that is when it's hard. That's when the most light is trying to come in, and that's when the most light can be exuded out of you when you stop. Somebody said that they use the law of assumption.
Yeah, Janae.
Yes. Let's go, Janae. Wow. I'm so happy people doing it. Y'all see it works. Janae, you got to message me. You got to message me. Come on. I need to hear this. I need to hear this. We need more testimonials of people doing it. See, if you do it, it work. If you do it, it work. All right. Anybody got any questions about this right now? Anybody got any questions on this? All right, that's where I'm going to end the video for the class. Can you explain how to restrict again in that scenario? Okay, let's talk about this. Which scenario did I just give?
Reaction. So explain the reaction restriction. I think that's what they're not understanding.
All right, let's talk about that. So, opportunity come to you. Here's the opportunity. You get your car stolen. No, you lose your job. They fire you. Okay, so when you get fired, what is your instant reaction that you want? Or what's the instant reaction that you'll feel in your body? Oh, stay long enough, you're going to hear it. Okay, fear, frustrated, I want to get it back, on to the next. Okay, this is good scenarios because I want to talk about on to the next. So Forever Solo, that's an interesting situation when it comes to restriction. Happiness, most are sad or afraid. So you would be happy if you got your stuff stolen, okay? I say, oh, well, get another. Okay, so you don't care. Fear, Gus. Okay, so check this out. This is so good. This is so good. Because we're going to use every one of those scenarios, and I'm going to show you how it works. Let me erase this. Let me erase this. So we're going to use every one of those scenarios and talk about how you let in the light. This is so interesting, too. I love that everybody gave these different responses because you're about to learn. So let's take the response of, you got 3 different responses. Let's say 2 different responses. Let's say one is fear. One person, I don't care, and another person is happy. All right, so this is perfect. So these are the three responses that you can get. So a scenario happens, somebody's in fear, frustration, negativity, another group does not care, and another group is happy. Now let's go back to the scenario, the light bulb. Okay, it's an interesting light bulb. Okay, so this is the light bulb. This is the electricity that flows down in the light bulb. Okay, so here's what happens. If you get the scenario where your car gets stolen and you're happy about it, you actually don't produce any light because there's nothing to restrict. So what that essentially means is this situation wasn't hard for you. The situation didn't require you to become a different person. The situation didn't make you any different than what you were before. So you actually don't even have an electrical current flowing through, and therefore your light bulb is dull or it's glowing at the same level, stays the same. Nothing changes. Interesting, right? So you get no more benefit in your life from just being happy about it. So that's not a scenario that you can benefit from. So you happy, you actually get no light for that. Now let's take the person who does not care. Okay, car gets stolen. Okay, on to the next. Same situation. This does not require you to restrict at all, which means there is no light. There is no more energy that can come in because you don't care. You have no challenge. You have no resistance. In order for a light to glow from this electrical flow, you have to have electrical flow, and this has to have something to resist. That means it has to be difficult. The difficulties are the way that you actually burn the light. Now, here's the other thing. Let's say you get your car stolen and you go into fear. This is where the good stuff starts to happen. Because you can respond in two ways. Let's say you respond in fear and you stay in fear. What happens? Well, you let in the light because the fear, once you fear, you want to do something, you got to do something. Like, I got to fix it, I got to figure it out. What's happening is you are now reacting. So that means you are letting in a bunch of light. You're getting cheap light from the situation. You got to get out of it. I need to get out of this situation. So you are also not restricted. Your light will go bust, and then you will give all of the energy to the opponent to create more chaos and fear in your life. But here's the other scenario. If you are in fear, but you stop, and you say, my car got stolen, and you feel the energy that you want to be in fear, you want to be pissed off, you want to be frustrated. At that second, if you say, no, this is good, that is restriction. You are emanating light in that situation. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You have overcome your instant reaction. That's what produces light in your life. If you don't care, you produce no light. It's the same. If you happy, you definitely don't produce any light. Okay? Does that make sense? We're not supposed to live in fear. We're not supposed to live in fear. But if fear comes to you, see, you said the right answer, but the problem is with the right answer, you happy or you don't care, you don't receive light. So we can act like we're not feeling something all we want, but that doesn't benefit you because the truth is you feel stuff about stuff. Okay, you do feel stuff. And if we try a lot of positive thinkers. We're like, we don't want to feel those negative emotions. Okay, problem is you already feel them. Now you just suppressing them and denying them, which just gives that energy to the opponent. Rather than saying, I do have fear right now, but no, it's good. You overcome the instant reaction. So first thing you feel is fear. First thing you feel is frustration. First thing you want to do is beat somebody up. First thing you want to do is run away. First thing you want to do is freeze and go into a corner and hide. First thing. But then you stop yourself. You say, no, I'm not going to automatically respond like I used to. No. Right now, I'm going to say this is good. Boom. That's first. This is good. As soon as you say this is good, you have overcome your instant reaction. This is Kabbalistic teaching. So in the Kabbalistic teaching, it explains to you, as soon as you say, nope, I'm not reacting, I'm okay, not only is this good, but not only is this not bad, it's good. It comes from the Creator and it's showing me what to change. I get to change right now. I get to have an abundance mentality right now. I get to have faith right now. I get to have a focus right now. I get to exercise the claim to belief I have. I claim I believe all the time. I claim I got faith. This is my opportunity. This is good. As soon as you say that, you start to glow. The light is coming in and you are the filament restricting your automatic reactions. And now light is coming in. When the light comes in, you start getting benefits. Stuff starts to go your way. Stuff starts to happen. Why? Because you let the light in. You let the light in by restriction, not by cheap ways. The cheap way would be just indulge your fear and just try to get out of it quickly. I don't want to feel this negativity. Let me get out of it. Let me go on a vacation. Let me smoke something. Let me drink something. I need a day off. All of that is just indulging your automatic reactions, an instant gratification, desire to receive for yourself alone. You want to relieve yourself. You want to feel better instantly. So you're going to do anything that's going to make you feel that way. But restriction, what it does is it says, I'm not going to instantly react and go do what I would just receive for the self alone. Actually, this is good. And it's showing me how I can serve. You can even say in that moment, I'm going to help people to overcome the negative reactions for the rest of my life. I'm going to give. As soon as you do that, what's up, Jordan? As soon as you do that, you start to glow. This is the people who glow in their lives. They are overcoming instant reaction. Did that make sense, y'all? Did that make sense? Yeah, when people crash out, it's literally just they have no self-control and they letting the chaos in their lives. Right. I was the biggest crash out you'll find. Literally, I was a crash out. I was absolutely a crash out. Okay? So somebody says, so we produce light and overcome the light. We produce light by overcoming the instant reaction. That's what we do. Got to experience fear, just reduce the amount of time spent in it. Yeah, instantly say, this is good. As quickly as you can. All you have to process your feelings. You have to process your feelings. Processing the feelings is definitely important, but even more important, restrict the need to indulge them all the way.
Yeah.
That's really it. Because you can go into processing the emotion and that turn into dwelling in the emotion.
I wouldn't say process, I would say acknowledge.
Acknowledge. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that I feel fear right now, but this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. Oh, I was an ultimate crash out, yo. Literally, I've been walking around with my fist balled up all day, ready to fight. I'm not even joking. Totally different person. See, that I had to restrict anger in that situation. I lost my job, and when I felt fear, I said, nope, I'm okay. Boom. And what happened after that? I'm curious. You can get my videos in the Mastermind. Our Mastermind, go ahead, message me right here. I'll put you in our Mastermind group. I put all of these replays there. How do we handle people who have had no bread of shame their whole life? Everybody has bread of shame or you wouldn't be here. Everybody has bread of shame or you wouldn't be here. So if somebody has, what? You talked about that one time. But everybody has bread of shame here. So but what you're saying is probably like Leisha's ex-boyfriend who was spoiled, who he got everything handed to him and he just liked to continue to receive. Remember?
Yeah. But then I was going to say that, but then I was thinking how you said, like with addiction, it is shame. They do feel shame. That's why they keep grabbing more light.
Yes, that is exactly right. Here, you need this because people need to hear your voice. My girl gonna be talking for the rest of the live.
Not for the rest of the live.
So, yes, say that again.
So they do feel shame. They actually feel the most shame. That's why they keep grabbing more light. Because they feel the bread of shame and they want to cut it off so fast. So they go and grab more light. So they want to receive more. That's why drug addicts or people who have addictions, they keep going back to the thing because they get it, they feel bad, they go get it again. Mm-hmm. They feel bad, they go get it again.
Yes.
So that's what that is.
That's that loop. That's that looping pattern.
Hi, Jordan.
Things are working out. It really works. Yes. Good. Did that make sense, Kathy? Does it work opposite restricted, automatic, neutral / positive feelings by being logical or negative? Yeah, it actually does work that way. That's such a good point.
That was a great
That
question.
was great. Who are you?
Who are you?
You come here. Message me.
No, let's be friends.
I like when I hear somebody ask a question like that. I know your brain is different. I want you to message me. Your brain is different. That is a very good question. So let's
Young
talk about
person.
that. Young boy?
Young, I think. Young, I don't know, young person.
I don't know, but you need to message me. I want you. Okay? So this is the thought. By the way, I'm assembling a team of Avengers, the highest conscious people in the world. That's what we're assembling in our mastermind. It's only the smartest people. You actually have to interview to get in the mastermind. We don't let everybody in, period, point blank. Okay? But conscious people are different. When you start asking questions like that, I know you've been thinking. Okay, so happy. So let's talk about the happiness. So you out at the, you out what?
Excuse me. Remember?
Yeah, you say it. I don't know what you said. What?
Well, there was a time like our situation. I'm a very love and light kind of person. So we were in it was money problems. And I'll sit in my gratitude. I'll meditate. And if you know anything about the golden funnel, you have to hate where you are for it to change. And I wasn't letting myself feel any kind of negative emotions because I'm supposed to feel good. And it feels good to feel good. But I had to acknowledge the feeling bad part. Mm-hmm. Like I had to go into that for things to change.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't restricting and admitting that, okay, there's a negative here.
Yes.
And I wasn't acknowledging that. And when I acknowledged it, that's when the situation changed.
Yes. I still think that for that explanation, I still think that that's in the negative category. That's a perfect example. I think what he's saying is if you get too happy, could you come back down and be more logical? You see what I'm saying? So I think for that scenario, when you are too geeked up and excited, you indulge in the light you're getting cheap light. So for instance, if I'm the type of person who just want to talk and tell people what I want or tell people who I am, look, I know everything. Let me just talk and get attention for it. That can be a certain version of a high. So in that situation, I can restrict and say, no, I do not need the approval of others. I do not need to be shining the light on me right now because I'm so used to doing that and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here grounded. That is also restriction. And I think that's what you were talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what you were talking about, right? They don't transform to feel bad energy. You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Clover? Did that make sense, Clover? Okay. If you want to get this replay, you probably came in late if you ask him what the graph represents. But it just represents the ways you can react to any individual situation. Okay, so if you can react in fear or negativity, you can not care, be neutral, or you can be happy about it. And we're talking about light. If you don't know how filament in a light bulb works, the filament in a light bulb actually restricts electrical flow, meaning basically rejects the light. And it refracts that light that it's rejecting, and that's what you see coming out of the light bulbs. So this light bulb, the filament in this light bulb is rejecting light, and it's bouncing off of it and coming onto my face and lighting up this room. So the way light comes into the world is you have to actually restrict light, restrict the reception of light so that it bounces off of you, refracts off of you, and becomes the light of the world. And you start shining light on people. So that is what the example of this light bulb is. Okay? Good. One of the next boot camps we do is going to be all on Tree of Life. It's going to be on the Tree of Life. The whole thing. We might even do a series for multiple months on that. I think the Tree of Life would need a 3-month breakdown, honestly. Restrict that emotion. if I have a tendency to automatically respond in a certain way, I am stopping that, restricting that, and that restriction creates light. But if I don't restrict it, it's almost like I'm eating it all. It never gets to bounce off, and it doesn't become benefit in my life. Yeah, that tikkun. That tikkun is just the correction. So anytime that you get a negative to come, what tikkun is karma. Here it is. You about to get a scenario. The scenario that you keep running into over and over and over again is what? It's your tikkun. It's your correction that you need to make. It means that there's a loop happening. It keeps coming back around again and again, lifetime after lifetime. You keep having these circles, these cycles. And your tikkun is, let me stop this damn cycle and start a new one. That's what the tikkun is. It's stopping the same negative patterns that you keep having over and over again. In astrology, if y'all don't know, in astrology, your tikkun is shown by your south and north node, which I'm about to go over right now, spontaneously. Okay. So when you're dealing with astrology, you can actually find your correction that will create the most light in your life by looking at your astrology chart.